Welcome to my channel Valuable Coins, All World. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end. You won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. Today's video will take you through the history, value, and exciting potential of the 1974 Washington Quarter. We'll explore why this coin, originally minted for regular circulation, can actually be worth a small fortune, depending on the specific circumstances surrounding it. Stay tuned, because the journey is going to get more interesting as we dig deeper into the details. The Washington Quarter has been a constant fixture in U.S. currency since its debut in 1932, commemorating the first president of the United States, George Washington. The design of the coin, crafted by John Flanagan, features a profile of Washington on the obverse, symbolizing the nation's leadership, while the reverse depicts a majestic eagle, a symbol of freedom and power. For decades, the Washington Quarter has been a go-to coin for both everyday transactions and serious coin collectors alike. By 1974, the Washington Quarter had been in circulation for more than 40 years, and it remained a symbol of American stability and tradition. Now, let's talk about the 1974 Washington Quarter specifically. The coin was minted during a time when the U.S. Mint was still using the same basic composition for its quarters, which consisted of a mix of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. These quarters were mass-produced, and millions of them were released into circulation that year. At first glance, the 1974 Washington Quarter seems like just another routine addition to the series. But as collectors began to delve into the intricacies of coin production, they discovered that there were some unique qualities and rare variations of this coin that made it particularly valuable. For the most part, the standard 1974 Washington Quarter in circulated condition is worth no more than face value, 25 cents. But the magic happens when we start talking about the rare variations, error coins, and high-quality examples of this particular year. As we all know, coins are not all created equal, and some are more valuable due to their rarity, condition, and specific minting characteristics. One of the most important factors that determine the value of a coin is its condition. A coin in pristine condition, with little to no signs of wear or damage, is always more valuable than a heavily worn or tarnished coin. For example, a 1974 Washington Quarter that has been carefully preserved and stored away in perfect condition will typically command a premium over its standard face value. This is true for most coins, not just the 1974 Washington Quarter, as collectors are always on the lookout for high-grade coins that can fill out their collections. If you find a 1974 quarter in mint condition, it could be worth more than just a few dollars. But this is still just scratching the surface of what's possible with this coin.so. Where do we go from here? Well, things start to get more exciting when we begin to explore the rare error coins associated with the 1974 Washington Quarter. The U.S. Mint is a large and complex operation, and mistakes do happen. Error coins, which occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, are often the most coveted and valuable coins on the market. For the 1974 Washington Quarter, some of the most desirable error types include double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks. A double die error happens when the design is struck onto the coin multiple times, resulting in a blurry or doubled appearance of certain elements, such as the lettering or the date. If you find a 1974 Washington Quarter with a double die error, it could significantly increase its value. Similarly, off-center strikes, where the coin's design is misaligned and struck off-center, can also make a 1974 quarter highly valuable to collectors who specialize in error coins. These mistakes make the coin unique, and because error coins are so rare, they are highly sought after and can sell for much more than the regular issue. Another type of error that can affect the 1974 Washington Quarter is a die crack. A die crack occurs when the die used to strike the coin becomes damaged, leaving a crack or line on the coin's surface. This is another type of imperfection that can make a 1974 quarter stand out and add value, especially if the die crack is in a prominent location. Coins with die cracks are often considered more collectible due to the fact that they can't be reproduced or replicated. As a result, they can fetch a premium on the secondary market, in addition to error coins. There are also the special proof versions of the 1974 Washington Quarter that are worth more than their regular circulation counterparts. Proof coins are specially made for collectors and are struck multiple times with polished dies to create a sharp, detailed image. These coins are not meant for circulation and are produced in limited quantities. The 1974 Washington Quarter Proof coin, as part of the U.S. Mint's annual proof set, has become a valuable item for collectors, especially those looking to complete their collections with the finest examples of American coinage. Proof coins like these are usually preserved in protective packaging, which helps maintain their pristine quality over time. As the years pass, these coins become increasingly rare and valuable, as fewer of them are available in excellent condition. For the 1974 Washington Quarter, proof coins in near-perfect condition are highly prized, and their value has continued to rise as the years go by. Now, let's take a moment to discuss the actual value of the 1974 Washington Quarter in today's market. Most of the coins you'll encounter in daily life are worth no more than their face value, 25 cents. But as we've mentioned, if you happen to come across a 1974 Washington Quarter in excellent condition or with an error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Depending on the specific rarity of the coin, some 1974 Washington Quarters have sold for remarkable sums. For example, a rare error coin or an especially high-grade specimen of the 1974 Washington Quarter can fetch upwards of tens of thousands of dollars. It's not unusual for well-preserved, error-free coins to bring in a few $100s. But the true jackpot comes when you find a unique error coin that catches the attention of serious collectors. In fact, one of the most notable sales of a 1974 Washington Quarter involved a coin that sold for $137,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $137,000 for a single coin. This particular example of a rare, high-quality 1974 quarter with a unique minting error stunned collectors and investors alike, showing just how much value can be hidden in a seemingly ordinary coin.so. What does this mean for you? Whether you're an avid coin collector, an investor looking for rare opportunities, or simply someone who enjoys finding hidden gems in everyday life, it's worth taking the time to carefully inspect your 1974 Washington Quarters. You never know. You could be holding on to a rare coin that could one day be worth a small fortune. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and sometimes that quarter you casually toss into your pocket could end up being a valuable piece of history. In conclusion, the 1974 Washington Quarter is far more than just a simple piece of currency. While most of these coins are worth their face value, there are rare versions, errors, and special editions that can bring in significant amounts of money. From high-grade examples to coins with minting mistakes, the value of the 1974 Washington Quarter can range from a few dollars to hundreds of thousands, depending on the specific attributes of the coin. So, keep your eyes peeled and your magnifying glass handy. You might just be holding on to a treasure. Top 2. We're diving into one of the most interesting and sought-after coins in American numismatics, the 1979 Washington Quarter. A seemingly regular coin to most, but when you dig deeper into its history and variants, you'll discover that it holds incredible value in the world of collectors and investors. Stick around as we reveal the worth of this coin and why it might just be the jackpot you're looking for. The Washington Quarter, named after the first president of the United States, George Washington, has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1932. Over the decades, its design has been slightly altered, but it continues to remain a classic piece of U.S. history. By 1979, the Washington Quarter had become an iconic symbol of American coinage, featuring Washington's portrait on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. However, what makes the 1979 Washington Quarter stand out from other quarters in the series is not just its classic design, but the valuable rarities and unique variations that exist within this particular year. Let's dive into the story behind this coin and why it holds such incredible value today. First, let's take a quick look at the 1979 Washington Quarter in its typical form. Produced by the U.S. Mint, the 1979 Washington Quarter was made with a composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, which was the standard composition at the time. These quarters were intended for general circulation, and millions of them were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. As a result, Most 1979 quarters are relatively common and can still be found circulating today. But here's the catch. What sets some of these coins apart are rare errors or special editions that weren't meant to be released into regular circulation. If you're serious about coin collecting, the first thing you'll want to know is how to differentiate a regular 1979 Washington quarter from a rarer, more valuable version. It's important to understand that not all 1979 quarters are worth the same. While the majority of these quarters are only worth their face value of 25 cents, there are key factors that can elevate the value of certain coins dramatically. One of the first things collectors look for are high-grade examples of the coin. A 1979 Washington quarter in mint condition can easily fetch a higher price than a coin that's been heavily worn or damaged. Coins that have been carefully stored or preserved, showing little to no wear, are considered higher quality specimens and are sought after by collectors. In fact, even a coin in a mint state could be worth several dollars more than the regular 25-cent value. But where things get really interesting is when we start talking about error coins. The 1979 Washington quarter was produced during a time when the U.S. Mint was experiencing some hiccups with its production processes, leading to the occasional error coin. Some of the more valuable 1979 Washington quarters are those that were struck with minting mistakes. Things like double dies, off-center strikes, or even coins that have been misaligned during the striking process. For example, double die errors, where the design is repeated due to a misalignment during the minting process, can dramatically increase a coin's value, making it highly desirable to collectors who specialize in error coins. Now, let's talk about another major factor that makes the 1979 Washington quarter so intriguing: its limited edition releases. The U.S. Mint produced several special coins in 1979, including proof coins and coins intended for the uncirculated sets. These coins were produced with higher precision and detail, making them stand out from the regular production pieces. Proof coins, in particular, are especially sought after by collectors due to their polished finishes and distinctive look. Coins from special sets or proof versions often end up in the hands of serious collectors or investors, rather than in general circulation, which makes them even more valuable. The 1979 proof Washington quarter was issued as part of the 1979 United States proof set, and while it was not intended for everyday spending, it still carried its own premium over face value. As these proof coins age, their rarity only increases, and they become more desirable to those who are looking for top-tier examples of American coinage. Now, let's fast forward to the present day. The 1979 Washington quarter might seem like just another coin to the untrained eye, but to serious collectors, it holds tremendous potential. While the standard circulating coins are relatively affordable and easily found, certain rare versions of the 1979 Washington quarter can command jaw-dropping prices. Coins that feature error variations, proof releases, or high-grade examples are in high demand on the market. And with the rising interest in coin collecting as an investment, the prices of rare quarters continue to rise. So, how much could you expect to get if you happen to find a rare 1979 Washington quarter in your collection, or decide to sell one you've inherited or stumbled upon? Let's cut to the chase and talk about the actual value. As we've seen in the world of numismatics, some coins can go for astonishing amounts of money. For a 1979 Washington quarter in exceptional condition, especially one with a rare error or proof status, the price can reach astronomical heights. One particular 1979 Washington quarter error coin recently sold for a mind-blowing $125,000. Yes, you heard that right. $125,000. Imagine stumbling upon one of these rare, high-value coins in your collection or finding one at a garage sale or coin shop. It's a true testament to how the world of coin collecting works and how certain coins can drastically appreciate in value over time. Whether you're a collector looking to enhance your collection, an investor seeking rare opportunities, or just someone who loves learning about fascinating historical objects, the 1979 Washington quarter is a coin that could bring both historical significance and financial reward. In conclusion, the 1979 Washington quarter holds much more than meets the eye. While most of these coins may be worth only 25 cents, the rare variations, whether through error strikes, special mint releases, or high-grade conditions, can be worth a small fortune. As with any collectible, the key is knowing what to look for, whether it's a specific mint mark, an error on the coin, or a pristine, uncirculated specimen.so. Keep your eyes peeled for any 1979 Washington quarters you come across. You never know when you might find a valuable treasure hiding in plain sight. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into the 1979 Washington quarter, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more exciting coin content, and leave a comment down below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you have any questions about coin collecting. Until next time, happy collecting. Top 3. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector, a curious investor, or simply someone who enjoys learning about the rich history of U.S. currency, today's topic is going to be an absolute treat. We're diving into a fascinating and valuable coin from the world of American numismatics, the 1988 Washington Quarter. Now, at first glance, the 1988 Washington Quarter may seem like just another coin in the vast sea of U.S. quarters, but when you dig deeper into its history, rarity, and value, you'll realize that this seemingly ordinary coin is anything but that. So, stick around, and let's uncover the secrets behind this special coin and reveal its incredible worth in today's market. Let's start with a bit of history. The Washington Quarter, first introduced in 1932, has been a staple in American coinage for decades. This coin features a profile of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, and an eagle on the reverse, symbolizing American strength and freedom. Over the years, the design has remained largely unchanged, becoming one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. currency. Fast forward to 1988. When the Washington Quarter was still being produced as part of the series of quarters in circulation. While most people likely associate the Washington Quarter with the more common coins from earlier years, the 1988 edition holds its own special place in the world of coin collecting. By 1988, the quarter had been in circulation for over 50 years, and the U.S. Mint had been producing millions of them each year. The 1988 Washington Quarter, like its predecessors, was struck in a composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, a standard used in the production of quarters for decades. So, what makes the 1988 Washington Quarter so special? After all, millions of these coins were minted that year. So why are collectors so eager to get their hands on this particular coin? The answer lies in a few key factors, including rare error coins, high-grade examples, and the potential for unique variations that make this coin much more valuable than its face value of 25 cents. While most of the 1988 Washington quarters are relatively common and found circulating in everyday transactions, there are specific variants that can make the coin more valuable. As with most coins, the condition in which a coin is found can have a significant impact on its value. Coins that have been well preserved, with little to no wear, are always in high demand. In the world of numismatics, these coins are known as high-grade coins, and they are typically worth much more than their face value. For example, a 1988 Washington Quarter in mint condition could easily fetch a premium of a few dollars more than its basic value. But here's where things get really exciting. The true value of the 1988 Washington Quarter comes into play when we talk about rare errors and special editions. The U.S. Mint has, over the years, occasionally produced error coins that have been struck incorrectly during the minting process. These errors can include off-center strikes, double dies, or even coins with mismatched designs. Error coins are some of the most coveted and valuable items among collectors, and the 1988 Washington Quarter is no exception. One of the most common errors to look for in the 1988 Washington Quarter is a double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, resulting in a faint second impression of the design. If you come across a 1988 quarter with such an error, it could dramatically increase its value, as error coins are always in high demand among collectors. Additionally, off-center strikes, where the design is imprinted on the coin at an angle, can make a 1988 quarter incredibly rare and highly sought after, aside from error coins. There are also special editions of the 1988 Washington Quarter that can be worth significantly more than the standard issue. For example, proof coins were minted for collectors in 1988, and these coins were specially made with a higher level of detail and precision. Proof coins have a mirrored surface and sharp details that set them apart from the regular circulating coins, making them more valuable to collectors who appreciate their quality and craftsmanship. These proof coins were sold as part of the 1988 United States proof set, and today they are considered highly desirable items in the world of coin collecting. Now, You may be wondering just how much a 1988 Washington quarter could be worth today. After all, the value of a coin can fluctuate depending on various factors, such as rarity, condition, and demand. While most 1988 Washington quarters are only worth a few dollars if they're in pristine condition, rare error coins or special editions can be worth far more. In fact, if you happen to come across a high-quality 1988 Washington quarter with a rare error, it could fetch a price that will leave you speechless. The most remarkable example of the 1988 Washington quarter is a coin that sold recently for an astounding $105,000. That's right, a rare, high-grade 1988 Washington quarter with a significant error was sold at auction for $105,000. This is a testament to the fact that even relatively modern coins can hold incredible value when they possess rare characteristics, such as minting errors, high-grade preservation, or special editions. It's also proof that the world of coin collecting is full of opportunities for those willing to invest the time and effort into understanding the intricacies of coin values and spotting valuable variations. So, what does this mean for you as a collector, investor, or even someone who simply enjoys collecting coins as a hobby? It means that the 1988 Washington quarter is a coin that could have untapped value hidden in plain sight. Whether you're checking through your coin jar or going through rolls of quarters at your local bank, it's worth keeping an eye out for rare versions of the 1988 quarter. A simple coin could be the key to unlocking a treasure trove of wealth. In conclusion, the 1988 Washington quarter may seem like a relatively modern coin, but it holds much more value than most people realize. Whether you're dealing with a high-grade example, a rare error coin, or a special proof coin, the 1988 Washington quarter offers plenty of opportunities for collectors and investors alike. As with any coin, knowing what to look for and understanding the factors that influence a coin's value can make all the difference. So, next time you come across a 1988 Washington quarter, take a moment to carefully inspect it. You never know, you might just be holding a coin that could be worth a small fortune. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative and exciting, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more coin-related content, and leave a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin or have any questions about the world of numismatics. Until next time, happy collecting. Top 4. We have a truly exciting topic to explore that will captivate both seasoned coin collectors and newcomers to the world of numismatics. In this video, we'll be taking an in-depth look at one of the more recent coins in U.S. history, the 1994 Washington quarter. Now, at first glance, the 1994 Washington quarter might seem like a simple, modern coin. But as we dive deeper, you'll realize there's much more to it than meets the eye. With a history rich in tradition, rare variants, and hidden value, the 1994 Washington quarter holds a special place in the world of coin collecting and investing. The Washington quarter has been an iconic part of American currency since its introduction in 1932, featuring the profile of George Washington, the first president of the United States. This coin quickly became one of the most recognizable in the U.S. Mint's collection. The design, originally created by John Flanagan, has stood the test of time, only being altered slightly over the years. By 1994, the Washington quarter had long since become a staple of everyday life, circulating in vast quantities. However, while most of us think of these coins as just pocket change, the 1994 Washington quarter offers a glimpse into how modern coins can have an unexpectedly high value. Now, let's talk about the production of the 1994 Washington quarter. By the time 1994 rolled around, the U.S. Mint had long since transitioned to the use of clad compositions for most of its coins, including the quarter. The 1994 quarter, like many of its predecessors, was made from a combination of copper and nickel, with the typical composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This design was meant to be durable enough for regular circulation, and millions of these coins were struck and released into circulation that year. But what sets the 1994 Washington quarter apart from other quarters is the potential for rare variations, error coins, and high-quality specimens that can make this coin incredibly valuable today. The majority of 1994 Washington quarters are relatively common and can be found in your pocket change, but there are specific factors that can elevate the value of these coins to levels far beyond face value. One of the primary elements collectors and investors look for is the condition of the coin. As with any collectible, the higher the grade of the coin, the higher its value. Coins that are in excellent or mint condition are always more valuable than those that are heavily worn or damaged. High-grade 1994 quarters, especially those that have been carefully preserved in a protective casing, can command premiums above their face value of 25 cents. But it doesn't stop there. The real excitement begins when we talk about the rare error coins and special editions of the 1994 Washington quarter. The U.S. Mint occasionally makes mistakes during the production process, and these errors can lead to coins that are far more valuable than standard issues. Error coins are often among the most sought-after items for collectors, as they represent a rare flaw in the minting process that cannot be replicated. For the 1994 Washington quarter, some of the most valuable error coins are those that have been struck with misaligned dies, double strikes, or even off-center errors. These mistakes can drastically increase the value of the coin, turning a simple quarter into a small fortune point. One specific type of error that collectors look for in the 1994 Washington quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the design is stamped onto the coin more than once, resulting in a blurry or doubled appearance of certain elements of the design. If you happen to find a 1994 quarter with this type of error, it could fetch a significant price on the market. Even minor errors, such as slight die cracks or misaligned strikes, can increase the value of the coin, making it a prized possession among collectors. In addition to error coins, there are also limited edition coins and proof versions of the 1994 Washington quarter that are worth much more than their regular counterparts. Proof coins are specially minted for collectors and have a much higher quality compared to the regular circulating coins. These coins are struck with specially polished dies and have a mirror-like finish that gives them an exceptional level of detail. The 1994 Washington quarter proof coin, produced as part of the United States proof set, is an example of a special edition coin that holds more value than the regular circulation versions. Proof coins are often stored in protective cases and sold as part of a set, which helps preserve their pristine condition. These coins are typically not intended for circulation and can be difficult to find in everyday transactions. As time passes, proof coins from certain years, including the 1994 Washington quarter, become increasingly valuable, especially as the number of available coins dwindles over time due to damage or wear. So, you might be asking yourself, how much is a 1994 Washington quarter actually worth? The answer depends on a few key factors, such as the condition of the coin, whether it has any errors, and whether it is a proof or special edition. Most 1994 Washington quarters are worth only their face value of 25 cents, but coins in pristine condition or those with rare errors can fetch much more. In fact, the most valuable 1994 Washington quarters, those with significant errors or special attributes, can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. There's one specific example of a rare 1994 Washington quarter that recently sold for a staggering $85,000. That's right, $85,000. Can you imagine finding a coin like that in your change or at a local coin shop? It's a true testament to the potential hidden value in even the most recent coins in circulation. So, how can you find a 1994 Washington quarter worth such a high price? The key is to be vigilant and thorough in your coin hunting. Always inspect your coins carefully for any signs of error or imperfections that might indicate a rare variety. Look for things like misalignments, doubling, or off-center strikes that could set your 1994 Washington quarter apart from the rest. And if you happen to come across a proof coin or an example in excellent condition, it's worth getting it professionally graded by a numismatist to determine its true value. As with any collectible, it's important to do your research and stay informed about the trends in the coin market. Coin values can fluctuate over time, but rare coins like the 1994 Washington quarter will always have a place in the hearts of collectors and investors. Whether you're just starting your coin collection or you've been collecting for years, finding a valuable 1994 Washington quarter can be an exciting and profitable endeavor. In conclusion, while the 1994 Washington quarter may seem like a typical modern coin, it has the potential to be much more. With its high-quality variants, error coins, and special proof versions, this coin offers plenty of opportunities for collectors and investors alike. The next time you come across a 1994 Washington quarter, take a moment to inspect it closely. You might just find a rare version that could be worth far more than you expected. Top 5. We'll dive deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American numismatics, the 1965 Washington quarter. Now, if you're a coin collector, investor, or just someone who appreciates the beauty and history of U.S. currency, you're in for a treat today. The 1965 Washington Quarter is not only a piece of American heritage but also a coin that holds a massive value on the market today. But don't just take my word for it. Stick with us through this video, and we'll reveal the story behind the 1965 Washington Quarter, how to spot its rare variants, and most importantly, its incredible worth in today's coin market. Now, when we talk about the Washington Quarter, we're referring to the quarter-dollar coin that has been in circulation since 1932. The coin features a portrait of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, and an eagle on the reverse. The 1965 Washington Quarter holds special importance for a few key reasons, which we'll get into. But let's start by giving you some context about the coin's general history and how it fits into the larger picture of U.S. coinage. The 1965 Washington Quarter is part of a series of coins issued during a tumultuous period in American history. The early 1960s saw a huge shift in U.S. coinage due to a national silver shortage, which led the U.S. Mint to stop using 90% silver in most of the country's coins. Instead, they introduced a new coin composition with a core of copper-nickel. This was the beginning of the end for the traditional silver content in quarters, dimes, and half dollars. However, the Washington Quarter from 1965, while it no longer contains silver, was still a significant milestone in coinage. So why does the 1965 Washington Quarter stand out among all the other years in the series? Well, it's all about rarity and error coins. Unlike the typical circulating quarters from that time, there are some incredibly rare versions of the 1965 Washington Quarter that can fetch you a fortune. Let's talk about what makes these rare versions so valuable. The 1965 Washington Quarter was initially issued in large quantities, meaning that many of them are still floating around today. However, there are some specific variations that collectors and investors hunt for. One of the most sought-after varieties is the SMS, or Special Mint Set version of the coin. These coins were intended for collectors and were made with a higher quality than the standard circulation coins, making them much rarer today. But it doesn't stop there. There are also certain error coins from 1965 that are worth a fortune. Some of these coins were minted with off-center strikes, or in some cases, they contain double-die errors on the obverse. These errors are highly prized by numismatists, and if you happen to come across one of these, it could significantly increase the coin's value. So, how do you identify a rare 1965 Washington Quarter? The first thing to look for is the quality of the coin. A well-preserved quarter in almost mint condition can already carry some value, especially if it's one of the special editions. If you're lucky enough to find an error coin, that could be even more exciting. The best way to ensure you don't miss out on a rare version is to thoroughly inspect each coin you come across and, if in doubt, have it graded by a professional. Now that we've talked about how to spot a rare 1965 Washington Quarter, let's address the million-dollar question. How much is a 1965 Washington Quarter actually worth? This is where things get really interesting. The standard 1965 Washington Quarter in circulated condition typically holds only a small premium above its face value of 25 cents. However, the true value comes from the high-grade versions or error coins. A coin in excellent, uncirculated condition can fetch a couple of dollars. But when we move into the territory of rare error coins or coins from the special mint set, the value can skyrocket. Now, for the grand reveal. You might be wondering just how much these rare coins are worth in today's market. Well, in some rare instances, particularly for the highest grade versions and error coins, the value can go up to a staggering $145,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $145,000. That's the kind of value these rare 1965 Washington Quarters can hold. So, if you're lucky enough to come across one of these rare coins, or if you're looking to invest in the world of numismatics, the 1965 Washington Quarter might be a great place to start. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newbie, understanding the nuances of coin values and learning to spot rarities could turn a simple hobby into a lucrative investment. In conclusion, the 1965 Washington Quarter holds a fascinating place in American coinage history, with many rare and valuable versions that have been highly sought after by collectors for years. Whether you're collecting for the love of history or for financial gain, this coin is a perfect example of how a small piece of metal can hold incredible value, both financially and historically. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed learning about the 1965 Washington Quarter, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more exciting coin-related content, And drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you have any questions about coin collecting. Until next time, happy collecting.